Now with these problems, you gotta take it really slow. Be very careful because it really sucks to mess up. It's really bad. It stings. It's like an old rotten burrito if you mess up. Because it stinks. All right, whatever. So again, this is the divisor. Just kidding. Dividend. What you're dividing by is the divisor. So, yeah, we write it the same way we did for the other one, where I'm going to do this box in red. We take the dividend and put it in a box. So I'll do that. And I'm writing it down. 5x to the 4 minus 2x to the third. Here's one of the steps, though. You have to make sure this goes downwards in descending order and that no exponent is missing. So we have 4, 3, 2, x to the 1. Oh, we're missing an x to the 1. And then no x at all. Okay, so we have to fix that. And I can show you how, because I'm a teacher. I'm going to show you how to do it. I need an x to the 1, so I can say plus 0x to the 1. Right? Because I don't want to change this. And if I put a 0 in there, it's still the same thing. So there we go. And then minus 39. This placeholder allows us to get everything to line up properly when we do the division down there. So that's why we do that. And hopefully it'll work out. Now I do the same in the divisor. If I have a missing exponent, I got to put in a 0 placeholder. So missing exponent, put in a 0 placeholder. Do you hear what I'm saying? Rewind it right now. Okay. So I'll write down the divisor on the outside. That's x squared plus 2x minus 4, 2, 1, and then no exponent. Okay, cool. So we're good. Then the next thing I do is I actually just look at the first terms. So I'm looking at just this and this. Why did I circle it twice and erase it? I don't know. And actually, even before I get to the first term, I get to the first coefficients. So this is, remember, this is like a 1. Maybe I'll have that written there. Okay, 1. So then I'm thinking, what times 1 gives me 5? That's easy. 5. Bam. And then I think, what times x squared gives me x to the 4th? Also easy. X squared. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't make your brain hurt that much. At all, actually. 5 times 1 is 5. Now I do the multiplication. I'm multiplying there. So 5 times 1 is 5. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Hey, they're exactly the same. Perfect. And then I'm going to do this. I'm distributing. I'm going to do it to the next term. 5 times 2 is 10, and it's positive. X squared times x, that's just x cubed. Look at that. The x cubes line up. Very nice. The x to the 4th line up. Very nice. So I can combine like terms after this step. Take this, distribute it. It's a negative now. Negative 20x squared. And then I have to subtract. But really, we just saw this when we're subtracting or adding polynomials. When you're subtracting polynomials, it just changes the sign. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to change the sign of all of these. And that's the same as subtracting there. So those go away. And I get, those are both negative, so that's negative 12x cubed. Remember, when you're combining like terms or adding or subtracting, you do not touch the exponents. Leave them alone. They ain't do nothing to you. And then here, that looks to be like positive 13x squared. And then I bring down my next term. That's the 0 placeholder. Why did I put a squared? There we go. Okay. And then I do it all over again. I think, what times 1 gives me negative 12? And then I just do it all over again. That's just negative 12. What times x squared gives me x cubed? Well, that's just an x, right? And then I multiply. That's negative 12x cubed. Great. Negative 12. Now I have to distribute. So I'm going to that second term. Negative 12 times 2 is negative 24. And then x squared, because x times x. Beautiful. And then negative 12 times negative 4. What would that be? That would be positive 48, I suppose. Yeah, just positive 48x. This is why we needed the 0 placeholder. Otherwise, we wouldn't have these two things lining up. We would have this going down there, and then we wouldn't combine like terms, because those aren't like terms. Okay, change the sign to subtract. Those go away. 13 plus 24. Well, that's 37. 37x squared. And that's just minus 48x. And then I just keep chugging along. What times 1 gives me 37? Well, that's easy. That's just 37. So plus 37. What times x squared gives me x squared? Oh, I can just leave it as 37, right? And then I just distribute. So then I get 37x squared. 37 times 2, that's 74. I'm using my calculator to do this, because otherwise I might make mistakes, and it's a pain to make mistakes. So use a calculator. That would be positive 74x. Whoops, I forgot to bring my other term down. It's minus 39. And then 37 times negative 4. What is that? That's positive 148, I think. Nope, it's negative. So let me change that. And then I change the signs to subtract. Okay, that goes away. Perfect. This adds up to 122x, and it's negative. Oh, that's green. I don't want green. Negative 122x. This one does not add up, and that's positive 109. And if I try go again, what times 1 gives me 122? Okay, negative 122. But what times x squared gives me x? Oh, that's weird. That's weird. We're done. Whenever the remainder, this is the remainder. Oh. Whenever the remainder is of smaller degree than the divisor, that means you're done. So, what's the answer here? It's the quotient. There's two ways to write it, and we're going to write it one of these ways. So first you write the quotient, and then you say remainder, and then you write down the remainder, negative 122x plus 109. Great. But the way that we want to write it, instead of having to say remainder this much, we won't have to write the word remainder. So we're just going to say the quotient. And then we're going to add the remainder, negative 122x plus 109. And we're going to divide it by the original divisor. So we're going to have that or that. Those are the same thing underneath. So now that we have like all of our pieces together. This is no more. We divided that. But we still want to have the divisor within our answer. So you'll say the remainder over the divisor, which is, the divisor is x squared, I don't remember what it is, plus 2x minus 4, plus 2x minus 4. Holy smokes, that was a long problem. Luckily you don't have that many to do. So, there you go.